Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Proving Grounds. Today we are forging in a bit of an odd and mixed title here. So, first thing I want to say, Forager is available on the Switch, on the PS4, and PC. And it is, I would basically call it the evolution of a clicker game. If you don't know what a clicker game is, it's a game where you usually just click or repeatedly hit a button to progress through the game. More clicking, more of whatever particular action. For example, there's a free one on PSN I played where it's very hero-based fighting monsters. And in the initial game, you just click to do damage to the monsters, but the goal of a clicker game is to become automated, to go away from clicking to making the game play itself. And in general, the reason I played that game initially was to see what a clicker game is, because back then clicker games were like this big fad with normies, so I just wanted to see what the hell it was exactly. This would be the evolution of a clicker game, because it has the same kind of cool concept, but mixed with actual gameplay versus just staring at a statistic video where you would just keep hitting a button or clicking with your mouse. So the creator of this game advertises this game of being reminiscent of Terraria, Stardew Valley, and The Legend of Zelda. And it has some references to Legend of Zelda, and the dungeons have a few similar ideas from Legend of Zelda games. But overall, I think the biggest group that has similarities to this is Stardew Valley. Because you get a lot of items, you can farm items, craft items, build items, gather items. It has that kind of Animal Crossing kind of aesthetic of getting shit and getting stuff done, but it has a bigger focus on crafting and building new buildings and things. Now, what you're seeing is the PS4 version, which has some flaws we're going to go in a bit about as we get into that, but we're going over the base. So you start off on an island, no story, there's no plot in this game at all. So if a story matters to you at all, then I would always immediately scratch this off your list. And while you could argue the similar thing to Stardew Valley, there's not a big overarching plot to Stardew Valley. They're all characters to know, interact with, and have, well, knowledgeable interests with in that. There are some NPCs, but they're more like just throwaway joke characters. Like, one of them just literally keeps telling you that they hate you. Like, literally just walk over him. Let's see. I don't like you. Please leave me alone. What a nice chap, yeah? Like, the characters are just basically throwaway jokes. They make a few references to some games, and that's about it. They have nothing to them at all aside from giving you some random requests of gathering this or do that ishness. So your goal is really just to create the game to be automated and find all the secrets of the islands. Now, you will slowly earn money as you find ways to make money. Like, you start off with nothing but a pickaxe, and you have to make your equipment, find new ways of building up your inventory, bank space, ways to craft things, ways to get money, and experience. You have this huge skill tree to go through that can affect many different things of resources appearing, things you can make, buildings you can be. It's broken up into 4 branches, basically. Industry, economics, magic, and foraging. And you can basically go down the branches you want to focus on, and depending on your playstyle and how you want to do things, you can get different goodies and baddies, and, you know, you can find different pluses and negatives to them. Now, overall, this game is really just about killing time, in my opinion, when it comes down to it. Which is why, if you're interested in this game, I feel like you probably should look into the Switch version. Because I think this kind of game would be perfect for that. Where you can just meander around a few minutes or 10 minutes if you're like in a car trip or on a break or something. which is why I think it is kind of odd it's not mobile, but considering the amount of crap that can be going on in the game and the lack of standards of keeping track of it, which I'm going to get into that, especially for the PS4. I'm not sure how bad it is with PC, but and it does make me curious how it is on Switch, but this is just basically a time waster game. And if you got it on PS4, you do got platinum trophy and trophies to get, so you can look forward to that. I think it was platinum trophy. Let me double check here. Pretty sure it was a platinum. But you get trophies. You also have the in-game trophy system for the game, so it has its own trophy system on top of that. So yeah, it had a platinum. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can get that out of the PS4 version. But if you're playing this on console specifically, I have to warn you that this game is really unstable. Like, when you first play the game, it doesn't seem like that. But when you get all the island, the automation, all the destruction and spawns and things coming in, I've had several weird things happen. Like, simple things like getting stuck between a chest and something. I've seen people actually literally... I got lucky and got out of when I got stuck, but I've seen other people just literally not be able to move. And if you quit to the main... Because when you quit the game, it saves. You're just stuck there forever. So you want to be careful about getting stuck in between things. But on top of that, when things spawn and build as. But on top of that, there were some really bad management of the game. Like, the game really doesn't appear to have any, like, keeping track of how much it can, like, it'll just keep, like, there's a wand where you can make skeletons, and you can just keep it, making it go and go until the game just can't handle it anymore. Like, there's no balance check of how much the game can process. And I've had that before when trying to automate leveling up, making skeletons. My drones couldn't keep track of killing them, so when I tried it out, I woke up and it's like, oh, it's normal. Barely moved the screen. There's bazillions of skeletons that got away off screen, and while I did level up, and I had to slowly move the screen little by little, killing them all until I cleansed my world of all of them. It was a fucking nightmare, and something that happened for this very review. Luckily, I actually had an older save that got uploaded to PSN, but sadly, my progress was lost. Let's see, this was 64 hours, and my original save that I was lucky that I got to record. But I usually play the game some while I'm talking of that, just in case there's something of interest that comes to mind that I like, oh yeah, but my game, going from the skill screen back to the game, all my islands vanished, and I was stuck in the sea. And I think there was maybe an overload of too much shit, and it just resetted to the default island. I'm not quite sure. I tried to close the console dashboard, because I'm always well aware if you exit the main menu, it will save. So I was like, oh shit. And I did read someone else with a similar problem, so... and they did save quit, and it did not bring the stuff back. So, but my save data had apparently became corrupted, so I was able to revert back to something. But man, so you want to definitely be cautious if you're playing this on console for sure. Likely, depending on your PC strength, it can probably handle a lot of the stuff happening a lot easier, but man, there can be a lot of crap happening at one time if you're not keeping everything basically cut back like a forest file kind of thing deal. It can get out of control, and there's just no checks and balances about. So you can easily find tons of people, especially on the PS4. When I look it up, I can find lots of PS4 people that have had the game crash, the corrupted data and that. Even the creator themselves have tweeted that you should back up your save because there are several issues that have yet to been patched. There, as far as I know, there has not been a single patch. I'm pretty sure. Checking on the update is latest version, update history. Okay. is on 1.02 update wise, so there has been a small amount of patches, but as I said, I've lost my original save going back to 60 hours from 80 hours with this thing, so making this review. So now another thing to point out on top of that is the PC version actually has had several updates of actual additional content added to the game, adding the Void, which is a whole bunch of new shit, and there's also new bosses and things you can trigger. The only bosses in the base game are inside dungeons. Now they're like spawnable kind of Minecraft-esque bosses that you can create and have them spawn in the world. So while these are apparently planned for the console version, they're supposed to be coming in 2020. The game came out last year, and I don't even remember, like, early last year or mid last year. I know it wasn't super long ago, but it's been out on consoles for a while. So a lot of those updates are really falling behind, but they're supposedly still coming, along with apparently a multiplayer mode, which is very concerning considering all the issues that are with just it being in the state it is now. I feel like the game for the consoles specifically definitely need to have something in balance to stop the game from essentially committing suicide from so much stuff going on. And it's all in 2D. It's not like it's all 3D shit, but you can be dealing with millions of fucking items, of multiple items being crafted and spawning and shit. It can get really hectic. Now, the completion data, the more hectic data you see in this video is my original save that I was able to get some footage before the data corrupted. Right now, I'm trying out, like, what you won't be seeing that I'm playing is my older save that was on PSN, but it's a game just about killing your own time, in my opinion, and amassing the perfection of the game just wanting its own, doing its own thing. And if that seems interesting to you, or if you want something for a time waster on your Switch, you should check out Forager. But honestly, if you want something with some more substance, a story, and a lot more interesting things, in my opinion, I'd probably look somewhere else. I would give Forager anywhere between $5 to $10 value, in my opinion. I just feel like something like Stardew Valley, I feel like has so much more, especially since a lot of the content updates have came out for console as well. Though to be fair, the co-op mode for console took quite a while to come out, but still, even without the co-op, I feel like something like Stardew Valley is a lot more substance to it, replay value to it. Like this, I can't even imagine, like, since my data got corrupted, there was only a few things left to do, and unless the updates come out and they're really interesting, I'm probably done with this game, honestly. I don't really think I'll be coming back to it, especially since my data got fucked up. If you know anything about me, having your data completely destroyed, lots and lots of time destroyed. To be fair, out of the 80 hours of my original save data, was probably like good 40 of it was probably automated, leaving the game wanting and doing its own thing, but it still sucks. There are many things to do, a community like center to build your stuff and donate and stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do. It just feels really meaningless in the end, honestly. That's why I would call the game a time waster. But if it seems interesting, maybe try to look in for a deal. Sadly, if you're going for the console version, you're going to be paying a little bit more. On PC, its full price is $19.99. Its full price, console-wise, is $29.99. However, it's currently floating between $15 to $19.99, depending on whether you want brand new sealed or used. And, of course, being a PC, you can likely find this on tons of deals during Steam sales and shit, likely. So I'm sure if you're into that boat, you'll likely be able to keep an eye out for a cheap sale on it. honestly, I would recommend between $5 to $10 with this title myself. I feel like, I don't know how the Switch version plays itself, so you may want to look up if the Switch version has any specific bugs, because like I said, the PS4 version has some, and it's supposedly a more powerful console than the Switch, so that does make me a little concerned about some of the having too many objects in the world kind of problem, but it's a weird mixed feeling, because I did feel like keep playing to a certain extent to the game, to getting it to automated, but the early game was interesting. The late game, just as it became more automated, became more de-interesting to me. Less interesting. I feel like if there was a way to somehow mash at least some kind of plot in here, I feel like maybe there'll be a little more interesting goal to achieve, but that's just my thoughts on Forager. It's not a terrible game, but I feel like on PS4 at least, it definitely has some issues that it needs to look into when it ever does get the updates coming, which hopefully they did say they are going to be addressing some of the updates, but some of the bug issues, but how they're going to be doing that is unknown, and being so long since it's came out, I don't know if it's good enough time frame to really get much money out of it. I mean, you know, you can still find stores. It's not like it's out sale of that, but you know, it's a little past its launch on consoles. So, I don't know if it's even worth really the time to do the update, but maybe I'll do a one-up video about the update if it ever comes out. Maybe that's the only way I could see playing this anymore myself. But those are my thoughts on Forager. There's many different ways to progress. Money, automation, marketplace, drones, sheer determination of it all. If you have any questions about Forager, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, if you feel like you've learned anything helpful or interesting out of the video, please feel free to leave a like. If you feel like you've learned absolutely nothing of interest, put your top hat on from your little community chest and leave a dislike. Feel free. Till next time, everyone, thank you for joining today for Forager, and until next time, I'll see you out there on the Ethernet of the Proving Grounds.
どうだった？私の作った朝ごはん